Football has given us unforgettable moments. Messi's solo goals, Zidane's finesse, and this. But not all teams are remembered for their brilliance. Some, well, they're remembered for being downright terrible. Ready for the top 5 worst teams in football history? Let's dive in, but don't say I didn't warn you. This might hurt your football-loving soul. First, Derby County. Starting with the Premier League's crown jewel of disaster, Derby County's 2007-08 season, with just 1 win in 38 games and a goal difference that looked like a phone number, they're still the holders of the most embarrassing season in Premier League history trophy. Imagine turning up every weekend only to go home with yet another L. Their manager, Paul Jewell, even admitted by January, "We've accepted our fate." At least they were self-aware, right? Oh, and fun fact, their top scorer had 6 goals that season. 6! Some strikers score that in a single game these days. Think about it. This team was so bad, they set the record for the fewest points ever in Premier League history. Just 11. They couldn't even finish above the relegation zone in a league where other teams were literally trying to lose. And guess what? They were relegated by March. It's the equivalent of trying to play FIFA, getting 50 own goals, and still saying, "Hey, at least I scored one." Which team do you think was worse in the Prem? Let me know in the comments. Second, American Samoa. If you thought Derby was bad, meet American Samoa, the team that gave new meaning to "it's just not our day." In 2001, they faced Australia in a World Cup qualifier and lost, wait for it, 31-0. At one point, their goalkeeper reportedly begged the referee to blow the whistle early. Can you blame him? The match wasn't football. It was target practice. And their average age, just 18. They were so short on players that they called up high school kids. Brutal. The match was such a complete disaster that the American Samoa FA had to rethink their entire development program. Can you imagine a scoreline like that? It's the kind of game where every goal feels like a personal attack. Their goalkeeper, Nicky Salapu, had to watch his team get annihilated, and after the game he said, "The worst part was, when they scored their 30th goal, I had to look at my teammates and say, 'Let's keep fighting.' At that point, what are you fighting for, a sympathy card? It's like when you play FIFA on beginner mode and your friend walks in like, 'Dude, seriously, El Salvador.'" Coming in hot, or maybe cold, is El Salvador's 1982 World Cup squad. Their claim to fame, losing 10-1 to Hungary. That's still the worst loss in World Cup history. Hungary was so dominant that by the end, even their defenders were like, "Why not? I'll have a crack." That game was like watching a slow-motion car crash. You knew it was going to be bad, but no one expected it to get that ugly. El Salvador had some early hope, but once Hungary scored their 4th goal, it was like their spirit just broke. And get this happened in a World Cup. El Salvador were completely overrun and humiliated on the world stage. Which World Cup team do you think had the most disastrous campaign? Drop your pick below. Tasmania Berlin. And if misery had a team name, it'd be Tasmania Berlin. 1 win, 28 losses, and a goal difference of -93. Fans were so embarrassed, only a couple of hundred bothered to show up for their final games. Some brought paper bags to cover their faces, a trend we see to this day. They were so bad, their own fans heckled them. Imagine your mom coming to watch you play and yelling, "You stink." Despite being in the Bundesliga, they were consistently outclassed by the likes of Bayern Munich and Hamburg. Their 1965-66 season was a train wreck, and they're still known for their total ineptitude, holding the worst goal difference in Bundesliga history. They were so bad, in fact, that their sole win of the season came against Eintracht Frankfurt, who were mid-rebuild themselves. That was literally their Super Bowl. Their fans should have brought confetti just for that single victory. You know, to celebrate the one glorious moment in an otherwise tragic season. 5. Barcelona in 1943. Yes, even the mighty Barcelona has skeletons in their closet. Back in 1943, they lost 11-1 to Real Madrid in the Copa del Generalissimo. Rumor has it political pressure played a role, but 11 goals, that's not pressure, that's obliteration. Fun fact, the last time Barca fans saw something this bad, it was probably their Wi-Fi signal during El Clasico. Real Madrid's win was a resounding statement, not just on the pitch, but politically. At the time, Spain was under Franco's regime, and Real Madrid had a bit of a special relationship with the dictator. Some say the win was a message to Barcelona's Catalan identity, but regardless of the politics, it remains one of the darkest days in Barcelona's history. And can you imagine that scoreline? You go to bed thinking you'll be waking up to just another defeat, but 11-1? That's a nightmare. So there you have it. The top 5 worst teams in football history. Which one made you cringe the most, or did we miss a team even worse? Let us know in the comments below, and hey, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more football fun, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Until next time, stay tuned, and remember, your team could always be worse. Unless you're a Derby County fan, then sorry.